Okay, let's be honest with ourselves for a second. The only reason any one of us is going to college is because we want to better our lives, whether it's to obtain financial freedom or obtain more knowledge. For me, it's the financial freedom side. I have a wife, I have two kids, and I have two dogs. I also have a cat. With these comes a lot of expenses. So throughout the last 3 to 4 years, I'd say, I've really been trying to find new strategies and new techniques to make my money work for me so that I am no longer spending money. My money is actually making me money. With that being said, I found this book along the way called What Would the Rockefellers Do? This book has just got me on a whole nother level of excitement. Basically, I understand the general concepts and the general rules that any financial advisor, cookie cutter financial advisor, is going to tell you that you should have an emergency fund set up first and foremost, which I believe in, and then therefore a 401k account or a simple IRA so that you have a retirement. And then on top of that, just a general savings for yourself to use for, say, vacations, things like that. These are absolutely 100% techniques that I do believe in. With that being said, this book is going to tell you all of that is wrong. Every single piece of it. That the stock market is owned by governments and controlled by governments, and it is not going to make you this massive return that financial advisors are going to promise you. So, therefore, this book gives you step-by-step blueprint of exactly what you need to do in order to obtain financial freedom for yourself, and not only for yourself, but for legacies to come, for your children, for your grandchildren, for your great-grandchildren, things like that. This book will show you how to set up initially a trust that is funded by an overfunded whole life insurance policy. We'll kind of dig a little bit deeper into that in a minute, but I kind of just want to break down the different types of, not necessarily the different types, but somewhat of the different types of life insurance. There is term life insurance, obviously, that you can take out a policy for X amount of years, and it's basically just a gamble. If you die within those years, the company pays, your family for the amount of the policy. If you don't die within those years, then the money that you put towards that policy completely goes to waste. Well, with whole life insurance, it's a little bit different. Whole life insurance, you are able to put in money, typically a larger amount of money, into an account that is going to obtain cash value that you can use at any point in time. With that being said, there's definitely a lot more complexities to insurance policies and things like that. But this book is going to cover most of it. On top of that, this book is going to set up ways for you to cut out the middleman, for you to earn the interest that you have been paying to the banks, to the IRS over the last years of your life, and no longer have to do that. You are going to set up your own banking system for you to borrow against and use for whatever you see fit, whether it be paying off your house, paying off debt, whether it be going on the dream vacation that you wanted, or paying hospital bills for your children, things like that are very, very important in life. This book is going to show you how to obtain the freedom and not ever have to worry anymore. It's going to show you exactly how to basically buy your wealth. And I'm going to say that one more time, buy your wealth. It is not possible to save your wealth. In this book, it will show you exactly why. With all of that being said, I'm not a financial advisor yet, but so I can't necessarily say that these are tried and true methods. I am saying what is possible. This book is telling you what is possible, that the rich do things a whole lot different. For example, I'm going to tell you a little story. There was a man named Cornelius Vanderbilt. He, at the time, was one of the richest, well, he was the richest man in America. When he died, his fortune was worth over $100 million. Within 3 generations, one of his direct descendants died broke at the age of 54. Now, for the reason being for that is because Cornelius never set up this type of system that the Rockefellers did. He simply let his money be divided between his heirs, and it went however they see fit, and it was gone within 3 generations. $100 million in today's society, that would be worth over an estimated probably $200 billion. Now, there was another man by the name of John D. Rockefeller, this man, who made his fortune in the oil industry, so a little bit more lucrative of a business compared to the transportation industry where the Vanderbilts were in. But even with that being said, he did not allow his fortune, which was amassed, I think, 200 or closer to 300 billion in today's dollars. He did not let that be divided between his children or his great-grandchildren. What he did is he set up a trust that basically held together his values and how he wanted this money to be spent and dispersed. And on top of all of that, he took out whole life insurance policies on every single one of his kids, every single one of his grandkids, as soon as they were born. With that being said, his children and his great-grandchildren can pull money from this trust at any point in time for specific set guidelines such as education, business, entrepreneurial decisions, healthcare, things like that. Whether they paid the money back did not matter because they were funded by overfunded whole life insurance policies that paid the trust back, regardless of whether or not the children paid it back. Therefore, keeping the Rockefellers' money whole and in one area at all times, gaining interest off of any loan that it has taken out, and collectively creating substantial wealth for generations and generations to come. The Rockefellers are still one of the wealthiest families in America today. I'm here to say that if you are to read this book, it's going to change your mind. It really, really got me excited, and I have yet to implement any of the actual plans in it. I wish I would have started sooner, but I am going to start here soon. I can promise you that. I think you should give it a good try. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor yet, so I can't necessarily give you sound and true advice on whether or not the steps in this book are going to work in your favor or not. But I believe they are, and I'm willing to try. I am sick of the monotony of the day-to-day 9 to 5. I need more freedom, and I've been looking at it from the steps of the middle class and of the poor, and I no longer want to look at it that way. I want to look at it from the eyes of the rich, from the way that the rich do things. Within these policies, they're able to gain tax advantages. They're able to gain full access to their money that otherwise would have been locked away in a 401k or an IRA account, and use this money by the way they see fit, however they choose. And then on top of that, they're able to continually earn more money from the interest that they've taken out on these loans. This all together just sounds great to me. I'm going to try it, and I think you should too. Thanks, everybody. Have a good summer.